Hey guys, it's Lisa. I'm doing this impromptu, so to speak, Facebook Live. I am absolutely exhausted after a lot of writing and working, but I said I was going to do this. I feel compelled to speak out about something that is beyond infuriating to me. I'm so enraged, disgusted, nauseated. I've gotten so many messages, mostly from women, but several from really amazing men as well. You have to speak up for something in life, many things. And this is one of those things where I have already been passionate about my belief in pro-life. And this New York law, and as a New Yorker, I am especially disgusted. As a human being, I'm outraged. I'm horrified. It's barbaric what has been hailed as this great win for abortion rights, for women's rights. This is murder. It's homicide. So if you don't know what's going on, Cuomo has heralded in a new era of inhumanity. And it's so unreasonable, so irrational. I don't understand how anyone can be lauding this, how anyone can be applauding this, and people apparently are, but I just want to puke. It makes me want to cry, but I want to get through this and just talk about some bullet points here. So women who are at high risk up to the point of giving birth to a baby are now allowed in New York to dispose of a human being until the time of birth when that baby is due. So I just wanted to touch on something that just has to do with just reason, okay, people? So I'm not a doctor. My dad was a renowned surgeon. I am not at all a doctor. So I don't know the facts that would be reasonable to suggest that in any way up to the time of birth, a woman could die by having that baby. But if you're going to take the child out, and it's a child, at that point it's a viable being and has been for months, and you're going to remove this child from the mother's womb anyway, why are you murdering this baby? Why is this an abortion? That makes no sense to me. You are taking this baby out. It is viable. And somehow, by taking it out and murdering it, you're helping a mother as opposed to taking out a baby and letting a responsible woman who's not at risk, I guess, of being responsible. I guess that's the risk for this woman at this point, is being a responsible parent and giving it to somebody who would love to have that child. I had a comment that resonated, and I had so many messages saying the same. There are so many women out there, there are so many couples out there who want so desperately to have a baby, and they will take that baby. They will take that baby with whatever defect, in quotes, has been found, and that's what I think is going to go on here. And there's this slippery slope. So you're going to have women who find out that there's a cleft palate or there's Down syndrome. There's something that hadn't been detected until the last second, and they don't want that baby. But I'm telling you, people like me would happily have taken that baby. I have 4 healthy children of my own, but I can tell you from my own experience with my 2 younger children, I had almost the same experience with both Taylor and Heather, who are perfectly healthy, in which my OBs had pushed me and pushed me and pushed me to get amnio because of my age and some numbers that came up with testing that suggested that maybe the girls had Down syndrome or some other horrifying things that I could definitely not deal with. And I said, no, I want my children regardless, and I'm not going to take the risk of losing my children. Hi, guys. And I will have my children happily, no matter what condition. You don't want them, I want them, and I'm the mother. And they just very reluctantly, and every time I'd go in for an appointment, are you sure? Are you sure? Yeah, I'm sure. And, I was blessed with all 4 being extremely healthy, but I would have been thrilled had they not been. And as we all know, as parents, there are many other things that can come up with our children that can be seen as disabilities and issues. And I know kids with autistic kids and Down syndrome kids who are incredible blessings in their lives. So that's another matter altogether. But please give these kids to all the couples and single parents out there who are desperately waiting for a child in any state. So let's just talk about this ridiculous nature of abortion and this crazy, horrific stage we're at now, where all humanity has been lost, societal norms out the window. I mean, all kinds of there are no rights left. As far as I'm concerned, this is just the beginning of an era of complete lack of civility, of societal, of just society needs some kind of regulation and on life that this is just so inhumane. I'm speechless, and it takes a lot for me to be speechless. So I'm going to look at my notes, and I took notes deliberately knowing that I'd get so upset that I probably would just lose my train of thought here. So liberals, socialists, let's call them what they are. And I know people are going to say, don't categorize. Okay, people who are for this, no matter what your denomination is, they talk about compassion, always about compassion. Compassion for who? Who are we talking? Okay, transgender. We have to make sure that we use the right pronoun. We are talking now about theybies. The new generation is saying we can't call our children a he or a she until they tell us when they feel, around age 4, they'll tell us how they feel. But we are not compassionate. We're not good parents if we call our baby girl or a baby boy until they're good and ready to tell us how they feel about that gender that we have assigned them. So that's a demand that we must meet. However, of course, they can get rid of that he or she or they when they're viable babies, but that's another matter. So as I touched on calmly last night for a moment, what about somebody who disposes of their baby the second after it's born in a bathroom into a garbage can? That person is going to be taken in handcuffs, put in jail. We will call that person a barbaric monster. How could somebody do this to a helpless being? How could somebody dispose of a baby in this heartless manner and just throw it away in the trash? Well, so are you saying that a day before, had she said, oh, I think I'm going to die if I have this baby, she can get rid of that baby? But we all know that this is not going to be what goes on anyway. These are going to be selected pregnancies. These are going to be pregnancies that are either kept or not kept according to how the mother, the parents feel about it. I want to talk about something dealing with compassion again. Let's have another comparison. You see all these ads, these ads for dogs and cats and animals with their big moo eyes and they're shaking, and we all feel for them. We see these animals and think about all the energy, the money that's given, the care, and how we are the monsters people are called if they just don't even get the nice pedigree food. If we don't get them their spa treatment and a cat her manicure, we're neglecting our animals. There is no way you can in any way rationalize this if you look at any other group, category, and how they are treated. But a baby apparently is not a baby until they're born, and we can choose if they're going to be born at all. So I would argue actually that life begins when the baby is conceived. Other people might say when there's a heartbeat, but certainly come on, people. When this baby could be born that day and you decide that it's somehow taken out, again, I don't understand this, taken out of the womb to save the mother. I want to hear the medical reasoning there. I don't understand it at all. It's disgusting. It's murder. As far as I'm concerned, it is homicide. Let's talk about the fact that this is the only right that we have in America that is funded by the government. I'd love to hear of another right. You have a right to bear arms, but you can't say, well, I don't have the money to get a gun, give me one. You will be helped to get your abortion. What about the women who don't want an abortion? And this is something that I'm actually writing about right now, and it's a very sensitive topic for me, very personal, and it's something that I really am going to try to make a movement for women who don't want one, and they don't have all of these the resources that women who want to get rid of their kid can go anywhere they want, and they're going to find plenty of people to help them. I mean, I could have had an OB help me do that apparently a couple times over. But what if you want to keep your baby and you're in a vulnerable position? A lot of these girls are young women. They don't have anywhere to go, and they're being pressured to have an abortion. What about their rights? So there's a right to choose, and they always talk about women's right. What about the woman's right to have her baby? Where does she go for that help? If she has a boyfriend who's pressuring her to get an abortion, or she just doesn't have, or she's on her own, she doesn't know what to do. This is ridiculous. It's absolutely outrageous on every level. And I would love somebody to address that with me, and maybe somebody can get together with me and we can talk more about that, because I'd love there to be some resources for women who do not want to have an abortion and feel pressured to do so. I would like to talk a little bit about these babies that can be born and how people would love to take them. So I'm going to end this rant of mine with a positive note. Okay? If there are any women who are out there listening to this, whether you like me or not, you hate everything I'm saying, or there's a glimmer of hope in something I'm saying, whatever it is, if you don't know this, I'm telling you now, your baby, I don't know what your situation is, I don't know what your baby has or doesn't have, there is someone out there who wants your baby. Please reach out and know that there's somebody who will have that baby. Don't dispose of a person. This is a human being that has a right to live. Just as you have a right to live, the baby that is in your womb right now has a right to live. And this is not some right-wing chick who wears a MAGA hat speaking. This is just a human being and a mom. And if I wasn't a mom, I'd still be singing to you, okay? If I didn't have 4 kids that I had made and heard their heartbeat, I'd still be singing to you because I'm a human being with compassion. And I know all of you are too. And I'm not saying somebody's not, okay, if they have any kind of confusion about what to do. But please reach out and know that there is someone out there who's waiting to have that child in their arms and take care of that baby. And as far as I'm concerned, Governor Cuomo, you make me sick. You make me embarrassed to be a New Yorker, and I'm disgusted. Bye, guys. Please reach out to me about this in any way you can. And please speak up for what you believe in, because life is short and you're meant to use your voice. Bye. Love you all.